Hello, everybody. Thank you for popping on here as well. It is Thursday, and we try to do game night here on Thursdays, and hopefully we will have time to get to that. I got a lot of stuff. We'll get a couple games in anyway. I don't know how much we'll do. Depends on how long it takes for for me to get through stuff. Hang on just a second. I've got a whoops. I want to get over here. Well, hold on. Thank you, Tractor Supply, for being part of the show tonight. Looks like you might even be. Wow. Chat is on this time. Hi, Chrissy. I can't chat for some reason. But again, Tractor Supply's popping up there at the top. So good evening, Nancy. Good evening, Chrissy. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for clicking on. We're just getting started here. Like I said in the title, we got some stuff. Stuff you might need to know, stuff you might want to know. And then we got game night coming up. So let's get going. First slide, we have federal prosecutors investigating Trump's attempts to overturn the 2020 election have questioned Jared Kushner in recent weeks. This comes from the New York Times. Prosecutors have questioned multiple witnesses recently, quote, about whether Mr. Trump had privately acknowledged in the days after the 2020 election that he had lost. And this comes from, according to 4 people briefed on the matter. So that will be a hot topic of conversation moving forward. We'll see if more indictments happen to be coming to the former president. Speaking of the former president, let me make sure we got the volume up on this. We got the volume on. We got the volume up, and this was at one of his golf course outings.
Built a golf course just to miss this green.
It's an easy one to miss.
That swing looks a little broken. Was it made in China?
Yeah.
What would your followers say if you hit this left?
Oh.
There we
I don't
go.
know about that, guys.
Oh! A little short, kind of like your
You almost
second
had it.
turn.
So not everybody is a fan of Donald Trump, even those playing on his own course. One other thing we want to get to before we get to our breaking news and our bookmarks, I'm going to try to go through fairly quick so that we have time for game night, but I will stop on occasion and check the chat and see if there is any questions or anything. Once again, thanks for clicking on. It is Thursday night, Doofus After Dark. Here we go. The Arizona GOP Grand Old Party, the Arizona Republican Party. I always found it odd they call themselves the Grand Old Party when, anyway. Arizona GOP county leaders say they never agreed to support a college event featuring white nationalists. Now, for those that don't know, his name is Nick Fuentes. He's going to be like the keynote speaker at an event coming up. College Republicans United is hosting the event, and well, according to the Arizona Republican county parties, they were lied to. So we'll see if that has any impact on this upcoming event. Breaking news. Out of the BBC, White House cocaine, the U.S. Secret Service ends its investigation. Headline from Politico, defense bill's fate hinges on the abortion vote. The New York Times headline, prosecutors ask witnesses whether Trump acknowledged he lost. NBC News, Biden blasts Senator Tuberville's hold on military nominations. as totally political. And for the first time in I believe it's history, the United States Marine Corps does not have a commander as part of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. So the Marines are not represented on the Joint Chiefs of Staff at the moment because of Senator Tuberville holding up that and numerous other appointments. The Independence headline is "A Rare Chicago Tornado Causes Widespread Damage." And there's some pretty good video imagery of that. I was following that last night. Politico, top donors, they are souring on DeSantis, and they're starting to look at Tim Scott. So there are our, let me get rid of these here. There are our headlines for the night, and that takes us to our Twitter bookmarks. I'll stop for a second and pop back over to chat real quick. Say hello to everybody. Thank you all for being here. What game tonight? I'm ready to have fun. I've got I got 4 games for tonight, and we will get to those real quick here. All right, our first story from our bookmark scroll, global military info. This comes from a day ago. North Korea released footage of its most recent ICBM launch. I didn't go on live when they launched. They suddenly launched, and it was kind of assumed that this was going to be to make sure that the rocket didn't blow up like it did last time. So I kind of assumed this was a test, but I did monitor it, and it was indeed simply a test that fell into the Sea of Japan. But nonetheless, the footage of the launch is pretty extraordinary. I'm banned in North Korea, banned in Russia too, because of the initial coverage during Ukraine-Russia. I got banned pretty quick because Russia really clamped down on the social media over there. North Korea banned me first, though. But so they won't be seeing that I'm showing this. But again, it is from a mobile launcher. They're showing the world basically they have that ability, and that the missile does indeed launch. I think I saw it launch. Come on now. There's the first view. Multiple camera angles. Now, the concern is not that they can launch them. Obviously, we're seeing they can. The concern's going to come when, how accurate are they going to be? Are they going to, hopefully not accurate at all, and hopefully easily shot down? But just like with Russia, a concern about Russia, everybody says, well, don't worry, they'll go after military installations if they ever do anything. Well, how good is their aim? Being able to ignite it and shoot it into the air, even though these shots are impressive, it is just one of the steps. So that's a look at what North Korea has been up to. Thanks to them, they're showing the world, and hopefully as a deterrent, not as an offensive weapon. But that is in no way guaranteed with them. The International Olympic Committee will not invite official delegations of Russia and Belarus to participate in the Olympic Games in Paris, which will begin July 2024. And Upon hearing this, Russia announced that any Russian who chose to compete under the Olympic flag as a non not recognizing their own country. They have these what word am I looking for? Designations. And Russia announced that none of their citizens will be allowed to do that. I don't know about Belarus. It's all right, Okers. From Adam Kinzinger, Dems take this seriously. This is about the time in 2016 everyone in the Republican Party, including him, was saying, nah, he can't win. The stuff he's saying is nuts, quote unquote. And he is referring to Democratic. Oh, crap. Sorry, I hit the wrong thing there and put it back up. Oh my gosh. I didn't realize I got that far down. Here we go. Democratic presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has a history of repeatedly sharing unfounded conspiracies that man-made chemicals in the environment could be making children gay or transgender and causing the feminization of boys and the masculinization of girls. This is a Republican warning the Democrats to nip it in the bud. Do not allow it to take root. Our next story, North Dakota Catholic priest Neil Pfeiffer has reached a plea deal that will see him serve no jail time. That is, if he completes 50 hours of community service. This is after pleading guilty to misdemeanor sexual assault for raping a woman at his church. And they wonder why people are becoming anti-Christian. This is just one I thought was kind of funny. Okay. Granny is trying to open a wine bottle. Had to have a little bit of lightness after the fact that a priest raped a woman in his congregation, and is if he does 50 hours of a class, he's not going to have to serve any time. Ron DeSantis has rejected $377 million in energy funds from the federal government as part of the Inflation Reduction Act. DeSantis says no thanks to $377 million in federal energy funds. What's this guy doing? What is this guy doing? I don't know. I don't know. He's doing something, and whatever he's doing is not working on a national level. I don't know if it's working in Florida or not. As far as the state of the Russian army, as our next story, the Russian military of defense has sent a weapons batch to mobilized in the Ukraine, in the Luhansk region, weapons such as PPS submachine guns, PPS H-41s, SKS Carabin, and other pre-World War II weaponry can be seen. I'm going to pull this up to watch the last minute of it. He's speaking in Russian, so I apologize if you're Russian speaking for muting it. But some of these weapons were actually World War I weapons, and again some pre-World War II weapons. Oakley, it's okay, baby. Wait a minute. Oh, of course, it wouldn't let the whole thing go. Anyway, I want to play the very end of it just because, hang on. You'll see, I'm not joking when I say World War One weapons. Right here, you can you can see him putting the. It's almost ancient, the bayonet. Um, so to me, you're asking, okay, so big deal. What? Why are you showing this? What does it matter? Um, well, if this is the state of their arms, if this is what they're actually shipping out to people to fight with, um, they're going to have to use other forms of weapons, chemical, biological, nuclear. Okay, um, or else they're not going to have any choice. Donald Trump from today. I never thought I would say that as the leading political opponent of crooked Joe Biden. Getting indicted and arrested by sick government thugs would be my great honor. I am doing it for our country to show how evil and sinister a place it has become. MAGA. So, Donald Trump announced just a while back, about 6 hours ago, that it's his honor to get indicted and arrested. I don't know. And he's doing it for the country. Personally, I think Jack Smith is doing it for the country, as long as it's for real and he's really doing indictments and this isn't going to end up being some kind of sham. It's our government, so disclaimer necessary. Scott Dawkins tweeted this: breaking Dem Rep Joe Morale just offered the entire Freedom to Vote Act as an amendment to the GOP Big Lie bill. When we saw the headline and it said the defense bill was in jeopardy because of abortion, the reason is because the reason the appointments are being held up is because they're trying to make abortion totally illegal in the military, and it's being fought against. Now we see the entire Freedom to Vote Act. And in case you don't know what the Freedom to Vote Act is,
This amendment is about protecting the most fundamental of those freedoms, the freedom to vote.
here's 1
This year,
minute.
state legislatures have passed a near record number of new restrictive voting laws. The Supreme Court found multiple congressional maps racially gerrymandered, and violent threats against election workers and officials remain a constant peril. This amendment will protect the most basic and fundamental freedoms. For example, the amendment will expand automatic voter registration and same-day registration now allowed in 22 states and in Washington, D.C. Set a national standard for no excuse vote by mail for every eligible voter. Protect the integrity of our voter registration list by prohibiting unlawful and faulty voter purges. Expand early voting by requiring states to offer early voting.
Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. The Republicans are trying to pass a restrictive bill, and he just put that in as he just put the entire Freedom to Vote Act in as an amendment, which is which is pretty good tactic, if you ask me. This comes from Hoodlum. This is a quote: "I think it's a terrible look for a president to not wear socks. That's why I left the U.S." End quote. Comes from Tara Reid, who currently is residing in Siberia. All right, a message from Congress on ordering the selected reserve and certain members of the individual ready reserve of the armed forces to active duty. There have been some members of the Ready Reserve and some members of the selected reserve called up because of a drill, and it's a drill that has taken place. It is a routine drill, and they need extra bodies for it. And this is a message, this is the statement from the message. Reserve component forces are to augment the active forces for Operation Atlantic Resolve to enhance the United States' ability to sustain its heightened level of presence in operations and support of United States European Command. So Operation Atlantic Resolve is something that, again, has been done and done quite often. I'm just going to play this and
the Iranians, the North Koreans,
and not comment on it at the moment. I'm just going to let you hear it.
Arizona.
well, Mr. Chairman, though that was unbelievably inspiring. My amendment has nothing to do with whether or not colored people or black people or anybody can serve, okay? It has nothing to do with color of
Mr.
your
Speaker.
skin, any of that stuff. What we want to preserve and maintain is the fact that our military does not become a social experiment. We want the best of the best. We want to have standards that guide who's in what unit, what they do. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, the Russians, the Chinese, the Iranians, the North Koreans, they are not doing this because they want the strongest military possible. I hope my colleagues on the other side can understand what we're doing. Thank you so much.
Mr. Speaker, asking to be recognized to have the words colored
For
people.
what purposes does the gentlelady seek recognition?
I'd like to be recognized to have the words colored people stricken from the record. I find it offensive and very inappropriate.
Is the gentlelady asking for unanimous consent to take down the words?
I am asking for unanimous consent to take down the words of referring to me or any of my colleagues as colored people.
For what purposes the gentleman from
Can
Arizona?
I amend my comments to people of color?
The gentleman wishes to amend his comments. Is the gentleman asking consent?
Mr. Speaker, to have the word stricken. I didn't ask for an amendment.
Is there unanimous consent to have the words stricken? Without objection, so ordered.
So that's what's going on in Congress, just because you're not going to probably hear that kind of exchange on your mainstream media news outlets. But, you know, things are happening. 3 former Fox Broadcasting executives joined together to formally apologize for helping create, quote, the Fox disinformation machine, end quote. Quote, for what little it may or may not, it's not at the moment, unless a whole bunch of people realize you were lying to them and they kind of get out of the fog they've been in. If that were to happen, then this would do some good. But just one post on Twitter is not enough, pal. I'm sorry, personal opinion. Quote, for what little it may or may not be worth at this point, Preston Padden, Ken Solomon, and Bill Rayner wish to express their deep disappointment for lying to the American people, for helping to give birth to Fox Broadcasting Company and Fox Television that came to include Fox News Channel, the channel that prominently includes news that, in the words of Sidney Powell's counsel, no reasonable person would believe. I'm going to read that last part one more time. To give birth to Fox Broadcasting Company, Fox Television that came to include Fox News Channel, the channel that prominently includes news that, in the words of Sidney Powell's counsel, quote, no reasonable person would believe, end quote. That is the message from three of the former members of Fox as they are desperately trying to show their remorse, as I'm sure individual as well as corporate lawsuits are coming. Homeland Security put this out 5 hours ago. Do you have an emergency kit, enough food, water, supplies for your family and pets for several days to be prepared for potential impacts from hurricanes, wildfires, tornadoes, or other disasters? And then they have a link as to how to build a kit to have enough supplies. Sam Singe drew the attention to this. Bad vaccine takes. An anti-vax Telegram group convinced the guy he can pretty much never have sex again in case vaccines shed onto him. Doctors are showing that all sperm is being replaced by the bioweapon. Saw it the other day. So I have to ask these questions. Are you jabbed? Did you have sex with a jabbed person? I better date an unvaxxed virgin. Speaking of Sam Singe, Damnation Drive-In will be back tomorrow night, Friday at 8 p.m. As for me tomorrow, I'll be on around 6 o'clock. And in real life, I'm going to be out at the park showing a concert again, at least for a while, depending on the weather and depending on the quality of the entertainment. All right, back to the scroll. This comes from MSNBC. Hold on a second. Here we go. Jared Kushner reportedly testified recently before the January 6th grand jury, Trump's efforts to overturn the 2020 election. If you're just joining us, this was one of our lead-offs that we touched on. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to do this and go back, but I want to play this entire thing. It's a minute 38. This is from, we haven't heard much about them lately. We're going to hear the next couple of clips about Wagner, a man who calls himself a Wagner field commander. His call sign is Berserk. Recorded a video thanking supporters of the terrorist group and stating that, quote, everything is just beginning for Wagner, who is ready for global events and turmoil. He seems to be hinting at having a good rapport with a, quote, unit that got stuck on the way to Rostov, which is likely to be the Akhmat unit. So he seems to be hinting at having a good rapport with a current Russian army unit, and that everything is just beginning for Wagner, and they're ready for global events, and they're ready for turmoil. Let's listen to him here for a second. Give me a chance to get a drink.
Добрый день всем. Я полевой командир ЧВК «Вагнер». Мой позывной «Берсерк». Мы находимся в братской Беларуси под Осиповичами. От лица Совета полевых командиров я хочу сказать всем павшим духом, что это все только начало, все только начинается. Наш марш справедливости показал очень много интересного. Не говоря прямо, скажу лишь косвенные вещи, что определенное формирование Министерства обороны, которое якобы застряло в пробке, все-таки приехало в Ростов. В первые минуты их командир, очень порядочный офицер, нашел диалог с нашим Ратибором. Мы пришли к очень интересным выводам, которые зачеркивают некоторые наши минувшие разногласия. Поэтому знайте, что среди ваших верных пехотинцев есть наши единомышленники. Вместе мы сила. Поэтому готовы обрадовать многих наших сторонников. Друзья, все только начинается. ЧВК Вагнер и его путь далеко еще не окончен. Мы готовы к глобальным событиям и потрясениям, которые ждут нашу страну и всех нас с вами. Спасибо вам, кто нас поддерживал. Спасибо, что вы были с нами. Вместе мы сила. Аминь.
Okay, again, that was from a Wagner or Wagner, depending on where you're from. A message he had posted. Come on, go back, please. There we go. Now, in the message, and I apologize, I see from Filosa that my audio level on the playback is a lot quieter than my voice. That's my fault. I'm talking too loud, and I get too close to the mic here. He talks about him being in Belarus, and they were when that was recorded. Russian news reports that Wagner has left their camp in Belarus, and they are indeed being accompanied by Russian police, and they are heading in the direction of Moscow. So, and this came in earlier today. If you're a dot connector, well, you know, here's some dots. This comes from Lakota Man. So nowadays, when someone tells me that they're, quote, Christian, unquote, I just take it as code that they're actually judgmental, hypocritical assholes. Agreed? Question mark. Oh my gosh. As someone who follows that philosophy of what Christianity was really supposed to be, not what it's been bastardized into, that is so hurtful to see, but yet we can't ignore it. Those of us that actually really try to go by those creeds, we can't ignore it. We can't say no. That's not what you should think, because it sure seems like a vast, overwhelming majority of people that claim Christianity are indeed judgmental, hypocritical assholes. And you probably throw bigoted, if not racist, in there as well. And none of those things represent what Christianity is supposed to be. So maybe we need to relabel ourselves as something else, you know. I don't know, some kind of AFG, actual followers of Jesus, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it's something that we can't ignore, or I can't ignore, just because it makes me really uncomfortable and really sad. Because a lot of this stuff makes me uncomfortable and sad, but this does on a spiritual level. Top military leaders are weighing whether troops transitioning out of the military need to be warned about the groups that could try to recruit them. This comes from a Pentagon spokesman, John Kirby. Marines, mostly infantry, have been highly represented among veterans arrested. More than 40% of the 32 veterans arrested after the Capitol riots are affiliated with the Marines. So, again, this is just potential dots. I told you a couple of weeks ago that word was that they might be getting rid of Matt Gaetz and doing it they might be trying to get rid of as many of the hardcore Trumpers as they can, and that the investigation under Matt Gaetz would be reopened. Well, we got it. It's breaking. It's official now. Investigators from the House Ethics Committee have begun reaching out to witnesses as part of a recent revived investigation against Matt Gaetz. It's focused on allegations that he engaged in sexual misconduct, illicit drug use, or other misconduct. And if you remember Cawthorn, the kid that got kicked out last year, he was talking about the cocaine parties that were happening, and they were the Republicans involved. This comes from Representative Matt Rosedale, Montana's second. He is not a he's not a veteran, but let's just listen to 24 seconds of him, if we will here.
Weakening our military, it is not making it stronger. We have drag shows taking place at Malmstrom Air Force Base. There are 150 ICBM missiles that are being controlled by that Air Force Base and by these individuals. I don't want someone who doesn't know if they are a man or a woman with their hand on a missile button.
That's what goes on in Congress. As again, you know, I think we all have a right to know. All right, a little break here from major drama. This is blow it up. This is a couple that are on a pendulum swing that actually goes out over a cliff. This dude's eyes. This dude kind of like changes. He almost becomes a different person in the middle of this. Let's watch. I don't know. Those of you in chat, feel free to comment, of course. Another little lighthearted break here. Oh, whoa! Can't play the music. Can't play the music. If you've ever played with a slinky, I'm assuming these are plastic ones. Those are what I bought for my kids. I used to have metal ones, and they'd get all tangled up, and you know, you could use them like twice, or I could anyway, and they weren't any good anymore. But they were a lot of fun to run down stairways and just learn basic physics and science without even realizing it. But here's a little demonstration, a 12-second display of choreographed slinkies, a term I never thought I would use. We'll watch that one more time. Oh no. I just got a text. There we go. Again, just a little lighthearted break because we got a bunch of we got some heavy duty stuff. One of Trump's big thing is about the oil. The U.S. is producing more domestically today than it did at the same time of the year 2019. So don't let facts get in the way of astronomically insane beliefs. Not going to be able to help anybody. You're not going to be able to help everybody, but occasionally facts will help some people. This, I'm not sure what this is. Other than it's announcing a date of something that's important to some right-wing organization. So again, if you're a dot collector or a dot connector,
We're headed in a path that's going to be very, very different for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm sure that by the 23rd of July this year, you're going to understand what's really going on and where we are. And I think that day is going to be history-making because John Gerald Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump will be inaugurated as the 19th president of the original United States of America. We're headed in a path that's going to be very, very different for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm sure that by the 23rd of July this year, you're going to understand what's really going on and where we are. And I think that day is going to be history-making because John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump will be inaugurated as the 19th president of the original United States of America.
Okay. One more time.
We're headed in a path that's going to be very, very different for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm sure that by the 23rd of July this
23rd of July, which is next weekend. So somebody is planning on something happening between now and then. It will happen before then because he's not going to get inaugurated without something happening that makes it feasible. So again, I'm just putting this out there because I don't know if it's out there. And if you're a dot connector,
we're headed in a path that's going to be very, very different for the next 2 or 3 years. I'm sure that by the 23rd of July this year, you're going to understand what's really going on and where we are. And I think that day is going to be history-making because John Fitzgerald Kennedy Jr. and Donald Trump will be inaugurated as the 19th president of the original United States of America.
Okay, so both of them are going to be inaugurated as the 19th president, even though Trump's already been the 45th president. It tells you how crazy this is. Now, does it mean we ignore it because it's bat crap crazy? Or do we pay special attention because it's bat crap crazy? Just something to think about. Here's Trump talking about bat crap crazy. Listen to this.
Immediately, and yet I've gone decades without a war, the first president to do it for that long a period.
And they clap. Like, instead of going, you maroon, you were president for 4 years, not a decade, let alone decades upon decades. Man. An Arizona man cited in conspiracy theories sues Fox News for defamation. Ray Epps, the man at the center of a widespread conspiracy theory about the attack on the Capitol on January 6th, has sued Fox News for defamation. And he's also sued Tucker Carlson individually. And Tucker Carlson has sued Fox News as well. And that's a look at Ray Epps. He was at the Capitol, but never went inside. And the lawsuit specifically claims that in the aftermath of the events, Fox News searched for a scapegoat to blame other than Donald Trump or the Republican Party. Eventually, they turned on one of their own. It goes on to say Fox lies about Epps reached hundreds of millions of people and caused enormous harm to Epps. The lawsuit says, as Fox recently learned in the litigation against Dominion voting system, its lies have consequences. So, we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, it's game night. We got games coming up here. We got to have some games because of the craziness that that is seemingly coming upon us. July 23rd, supposedly Trump and John F. Kennedy Jr. are going to be president of the 19th president. This is a world record for a catch of a frisbee by a dog.
As soon as he leaves his hand, you go crazy, Calgary.
Calgary, Canada. That was 109 yards on a Canadian football field.
Presented by Mayfair Diagnostics. What a show, Frisbee Rob and Sailor. Oh, as soon as he leaves it.
Dude, throwing the frisbee 100 yards is pretty impressive. The dog is even more impressive.
His hand, you go crazy, Calgary.
That's pretty cool, in my opinion, anyway. Not telling you what to think or how to think. Former Georgia Mayor Anthony Emanuel has been arrested for the rape of a child. Talking about dates, July 23rd, supposedly a new inauguration of Trump and John F. Kennedy Jr. This one is this one's closer. The Iran-backed militia Hezbollah has declared that the 14th of July, which is tomorrow, actually the time they have given is will be coming up here very shortly. The Iran-backed militia declared that the 14th of July will be the date of the siege on the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad. The act will start at 5 p.m. local time. So Hezbollah is an Iranian proxy, as it says, Iranian-backed. And these are some terms we haven't heard in a while. Baghdad, U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, Hezbollah. And we will see what happens tomorrow. But according to intelligence, they are planning on laying siege to the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad, Iraq tomorrow, which would be a provocation by Iran towards war with the United States. Is there some big plan? North Korea, Russia, China, Iran, India. Who knows? We would be the last to know unless we can figure it out for ourselves. Okay, this woman gets mad over what another girl is wearing. Don't let this be you. Don't let this be you. You're not a hall monitor to the world. Okay? Don't let this be you.
Oh my gosh, I met my first Karen. What are you worried about? Use your hymen word. How much? Are you the mom? Are you like clapping for her? Yeah. Hey. Yeah. You look so sexy going to hell. Hey, there you go. There you go. We tell you guys to go to church. You don't think you're going to hell for judging other people? Are you judging my judgment? Yeah.
Are you judging my judgment?
Oh, really? You wouldn't cuss with that mouth, huh? Yeah. You probably go to church. Yeah. No, I don't go to church. Yeah, you do. So that's why I cuss. Oh, is that why you do? Yeah. Wait, I want to show what I'm wearing. Let's see. I'm such a sinner. I'm too exposed.
She was wearing, in case you didn't see it, she was wearing basically tan top and tan pants. And this woman thought she was walking through the parking lot naked. Don't let this be you. Don't let this be you. I'm gonna leave this up here for just a second here. Oh, please stop. Okay. Morality is doing right no matter what you are told. Religion is doing what you are told no matter what is right. It's one of those, something to think about. This is, I mentioned Nick Fuentes earlier, and that he was going to be speaking at Arizona at the college Republican thing. This is one of his followers. All men who follow Nick Fuentes need to be built like this. White men, unite. We must continue our race. Jews cannot be allowed to destroy our culture and heritage. I've got one like extended piece coming up before we get to the games. I just want you to remember this during that extended piece. One Russian soldier forced a 4-year-old girl to perform oral sex on him in the presence of her parents, according to the United Nations report. An 83-year-old woman described how she was raped by a Russian serviceman in front of her physically disabled husband. Castration, gang rape, forced nudity, how Russian soldiers terrorized the Ukrainian civil population. I'm just gonna put this up. I'm not gonna comment one way or the other. You decide for yourself. He says, I do this 90 minutes a day to be safe, okay? He does this 90 minutes a day, an hour and a half a day to be safe. This is his son in the back.
My name's Cooper, and I'm a boy. I'm a boy, and my name's Cooper. I'm Cooper, and I'm a straight white boy. I'm a white straight boy, Cooper. Cooper, the straight white boy. I'm a white straight boy named Cooper. Cooper's my name. I'm straight, I'm white, and I'm a boy. I identify as he. I'm a man, a boy, a white straight boy. And I believe in God, kind of.
There you go. As I said, I'm not going to comment on it. Let you decide for your own selves. They say the very quiet part out loud. This is a priest asking, what's wrong with pedophilia?
Why is pedophilia wrong?
I honestly, sometimes, I find these things and I'm like, really, really, especially the pedophilia stuff, and using it as a wedge, using this movie, okay, using this movie as a wedge, like somehow, a movie about pedophilia is bad because it's got an actor in it that's a QAnon nut job, possibly. I don't know. What I've heard is the movie doesn't have anything to do with QAnon. It's just shedding light on the fact that there is sexploitation going on, child trafficking. And to me, anything that elevates that message to get us all working to stop it is a good thing. Now, those on the left, they're going to boycott it. They're going to do whatever. They're going to talk bad about it. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. Think how that looks. The right are attacking beer. The left are attacking being against pedophiles. That's not a good look. Just something to think about. Here's what the priest has to say.
Get you to do that. They're evil bastards. Oh, you're gonna push me too? You're gonna push me too?
I'm not
I'll
gonna
press charges. I'll lock your pedophile ass up so fast.
I'm not a pedophile, but
Oh,
why
yes,
is
you are.
pedophilia wrong?
If I
Why
want-
is pedophilia wrong? I mean, all of you.
Get you to do that. They're evil bastards. Oh, you're gonna push push me too? You're gonna push me too?
I'm not
I'll
gonna
press
push you.
charges.
You were
I'll lock your pedophile ass up so fast.
I'm not a pedophile, but
Oh,
why,
yes,
would,
you
but
are.
why is pedophilia wrong?
If I
Why is pedophilia wrong? I mean, all of you.
Jeez. Do we really, or is that where we're at really as the society? Why is pedophilia wrong? All right, on to our next story. Waking up to find out Christopher Walken is trending and thinking, oh no, that's what I thought too. I saw Christopher Walken was trending and I thought, oh no, something's happened to Christopher Walken. But it comes to find out that there's a video of Mel Gibson during one of his anti-Semitic rants where he describes Christopher Walken as a floating vampire and how Q-nutters think he's the Antichrist. The video comes from E! It is shocking. Mel Gibson's Sound of Freedom is the real deal. Warned about the evils of Hollywood. See, here's the QAnon stuff tied to this movie. So both sides, man, are you trying, are the powers that be trying to distract us? Are they trying to make it acceptable because there are people that are involved in it that if we find out they're involved in it, would cause a literal Bastille Day kind of moment? I don't know. Sure seems like something's going on. Anyway, he warned about the evils of Hollywood in 1998, predicted how they'd turn on him, alludes to actors being actual demons. He knows something very dark and wants to expose it. Seriousness in his voice is chilling. It was 1998, so to my knowledge, he hasn't exposed anything yet more than this, but I could be wrong. That's not the point. The point is, here's what he has to say about Christopher Walken.
First time I really came over here, I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
Right.
And nobody was really bothering to explain it to me.
They don't.
And I formed a bunch of opinions about the town and about the people in it that were like, surely that couldn't be. The whole place can't be like, weird town, where the stranger wanders in and all the people are in the bar and they all shut up when he looks at them.
Mm-hmm.
And they tell you don't go into the house on the hill. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then you go away and you think, no, I was wrong. That's insane thinking. I'm paranoid. I imagined that stuff. That couldn't be the reason for why so-and-so was acting like, could it?
Mm-hmm.
And then you find out later on the track that you are exactly on track
Mm-hmm.
with a lot of this stuff, that some of your worst nightmares were real at the time, and you think,
Mm-hmm.
a place like this can humiliate you.
Mm-hmm.
And it can humiliate you, it can be humbling. I mean, it does rip your life to pieces if you'll let it.
Yeah.
And it's always pounding at the walls. It's like these little guys, these little heathens with no soul downstairs with horns on their head. You can't get mad.
Mm-hmm.
You can't let it get you. Because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken, that you are going to be fucked over at some point by people who you may have done something nice for.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, that doesn't just happen in Hollywood or in the entertainment business. You are going to get screwed over, and perhaps by people that you are friendly with, just like he said, in a lot of different walks of life. I'm just saying.
And it may happen that by circumstance.
Oh, okay. That's enough. Anyway, actually, let me get to the second half and we'll keep it down here and see if it'll play. I'm not going to expand it again, but he really does say, it's not going to play. Of course not. Try it one more time. He really does say Christopher Walken floated through the air and that he thinks he's the Antichrist. But you can see that, you can see the whole thing on E! On Twitter. or it has been retweeted by Joey Mama. For those of you that may know Joey Mama. Okay, I was talking about Bud Light earlier. I was talking about beer earlier,
Fighting beer drinkers as much as the country is itself.
Unlike anything I'd ever seen.
I don't give a if you drink Bud Light, Miller Light, Coors Light. It doesn't matter.
If you don't like what somebody's selling, just don't go there. Stop being butthurt about everything that goes on in the world.
I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood.
The Bruja
okay, here's an explanation.
Stems from Bud Light's short-lived partnership with transgender influencer Dylan Mulvaney. Love ya! The fury from the right, enough to dethrone Bud Light as the best-selling beer in America for the first time in 2 decades. The controversy has taken center stage in Nashville, where 2 of country music's biggest stars, Garth Brooks and Kid Rock, have bars just steps away from each other on Broadway.
What's fascinating to me is that right here on Broadway in Nashville, Tennessee, the culture wars have come down to 2 big personalities in this town. It illustrates the way the whole country is responding to the transgender acceptance.
Garth Brooks says he plans to carry the beer at his yet-to-open bar.
I'm a bar owner now. Are we going to have the most popular beers in the thing? Yes. But I get it. Everybody's got their opinions. But inclusiveness is always going to be me.
A block down Broadway, Kid Rock made his feelings known when he posted this video shooting up cases of Bud Light. Despite the online bravado and talk of a boycott, Bud Light was available when CNN stopped.
Wasn't that an automatic weapon?
It is not clear if the ban had been lifted or if there ever had been one to begin with. Nashville marketing executive Bill Fletcher says the whole country seems to be engaging in the same heated conversation.
So we'll stop right there. You can watch the whole thing on CNN if you want, but just so you didn't miss it there, as I was talking about him shooting with an automatic weapon, either the ban had been lifted or there was no ban ever, because people were buying and drinking Bud Light at Kid Rock's bar in Nashville. The whole thing is just just something to keep people angry. That there aren't a whole lot of issues on the other side. Without anger and delusion, they're not going to win any elections because their policies are horrible. Even there are other Republicans that will tell you that. All right. This one I thought you might want to see.
To make it a little more than they originally said, and I said no. You're going.
President Trump was kicked out of a church, a United Methodist church, by the way.
Foreign policy.
Ho, 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 ho. Hang on. Because I do want you to see this. For some reason, this didn't make any mainstream news, to my knowledge. All right, here we go.
Foreign policy. Okay, that's good. Let me go back.
They had plans to make it a little more than they originally said, and I said no. You're going to stick to the original plan. And
she's failed on foreign policy.
So he started talking foreign policy in the church and tried to make a political speech, and she exited him stage left. Back to our bookmarks. And again, we got one more kind of important thing after we finish the bookmarks here, and then we'll get to the games. This is according to the Dallas News. I saw Lori Arnold in the chat. Hi Cunning. Hi, Lori. Hi, Bree. Hi, Lauren. I got kicked out of church once for wearing blue jeans. Nah, that should have never, ever happened. Anyway, Lori, according to the Dallas News, Texas beaches are now 90% poop from urban development, sewage overflows, factory farms, and livestock operations. And it says, y'all just been putting poo in the oceans like we're in some third world country and don't know better? I'm flabbergasted. That was from Michelle. This comes from DallasNews.com. Most Texans' beaches pose safety risks due to high fecal bacteria levels. Roughly 90% of Texas beaches tested positive for fecal bacteria at least one day in 2022, making them potentially unsafe for swimmers. So just something to think about if you're looking for an alternative place to go to do some swimming other than Florida. Texas hasn't been taking care of their environmental protection responsibilities. This lady, I know I can't play the whole thing because it will shut me off, but I'm going to try to play as much as possible of it here because I got to go to the bathroom real quick. And this is about 3 minutes.
Even more.
And and what she says is significant, in my opinion. And it's good to hear from other people.
I think it's really important to note something about MAGA and why it feels like they're doubling down even more. It's because when Trump lost, they lost. It was a personal loss for them. It wasn't just about Trump. And I know a lot of you ask me, like, you got out, maybe can some of my family members also leave the cult? Probably not at this point, because I wasn't invested in the same way that they are. And what I mean by that is they are financially invested. I never invested in Trump's campaign. They also have all the Trump merch, like their hats and the shirts and the flags. You guys have seen it all. Going at 4 a.m. to go see a Trump rally and sit out there for hours. They are truly invested, and it's personal for them. For me, I was able to disassociate myself between voting for Trump and it being about me. But let me show you this clip by Good Liars, and I'll come back and discuss that a little bit more.
Ultra Extreme MAGA. What is Ultra Extreme MAGA? It means never leaving the house without a red MAGA hat. 8 years going. I change the hat every 2 months. I never leave the house without a MAGA hat. Why? Because he's an American hero, and he's perfectly innocent. Guy's done nothing wrong. What does Ultra Extreme MAGA mean? MAGA 24/7. We're not GOP. We're not Republicans. We're definitely not Democrats. Nowadays, you're either an American or a Democrat, but there's no way to be both. So, is that an important part of your identity? This is America's identity. This is America's new identity, Ultra MAGA. I mean, for you personally, is it an important part of your identity? For the last 8 years, since the boss came down the escalator, I knew he was the one. He's the only one that...
He is a perfect example of someone who is MAGA. They are completely invested. It is his identity. That's why they have to say things like, I will vote for him no matter what he does. He is completely innocent. Who they're really talking about is themselves. He can't do anything wrong because I'm not a loser for passionately supporting him for these 8 years. That's why this whole, they're not coming after me, they're coming after you bit works perfectly. Because remember, they take it personally. When it comes to me, I was a Republican who voted for Trump. I saw that he was very imperfect, and I didn't invest in all his merch and shit. That's why at this point, MAGAs will not back down because they can't admit that they are a loser. Imagine if they admitted that he lost the election, that he is a sexual assaulter, that he is a criminal, right? How do you think that's going to make them feel about themselves? Completely and utterly embarrassed for backing him. I mean, again, I could do that. I'm embarrassed that I did, but it's a whole different level. I personally feel duped. Like, I'm mad at myself for watching too much Fox News, not educating myself, and not paying attention to how these bills and policies and the platform of the GOP was impacting not only myself, but people who didn't look like me. MAGA can't do that. They're just thinking selfishly. And the more he does wrong, the more he gets support from them because they start to feel like a bigger and bigger loser. And this is their defense mechanism.
All right, just something to think about. a lot of stuff to think about, actually. But I felt like, maybe we needed to just hear that entire thing. Or maybe somebody does somewhere, and they will. And it will dawn on them that I've been duped. Once again, Lakota Man. Join me in a prayer for the 86 Native children archaeologists found buried in an unmarked grave behind a Nebraska Indian boarding school. All right, it's not just Canada. All right, it's not just Canada. 86 Native children archaeologists found buried in an unmarked grave behind a Nebraska Indian boarding school, and this says U.S. Indian School. Do better, America. Mike Pence. Mike Lindell has lost $100 million as a result of major retailers like Walmart dropping his crappy pillow. He was ordered to pay $5 million to the guy who proved Mike wrong in the Prove Mike Wrong contest. And things have gotten so bad, he's being sued by Dominion Voting Systems for $1.3 billion, and he's auctioning off all of his equipment. So he's probably getting close to the stage where he's going to say, I was duped. And our final, Ashley Babbitt's mom accepting money for a group of Chinese spies, from a group of Chinese spies, not Chinese Americans, native Chinese per their nonprofit. They're Chinese citizens paying the mother of a terrorist to stand on a street corner and simp for other jailed terrorists. That comes from Freedom Corner Block Party. And that wraps up our bookmarks for tonight. Got one short segment here, introducing a group that I think some of you will want to follow this group. I think some of you will want to support this group. Some of you may even want to join this group. This is kind of their introduction to the internet, and this is Midas Touch is who put out their video.
This is Against All Enemies, a show about threats to American democracy. Political violence is
The show's called Against All Enemies.
on the rise. An alarming percentage of Americans believe they may have to take up arms against their neighbors. Some are already doing so. Every weekday, Against All Enemies highlights the activities of extremist organizations and their enablers. Our goal is to educate, not to alarm. The threats are real, but if we know what we're up against, together we can beat them.
Hey, I'm Chris Goldsmith, founder and CEO of Task Force Butler. We're a group of veterans and volunteers
Task Force Butler.
who've banded together to legally impose real-world costs on the anti-democratic extremists who are terrorizing our country. We've joined with Ken Harbaugh and Burn the Boats to create Against All Enemies. Our goal is to provide you with a daily briefing on what you need to know about the rising tide of violent extremism in our country. In this episode, we're going to take a look at yet another example of how our political discourse has migrated extreme violent images and ideas from the fringe to the mainstream. On June 30th, 2023, the last day of Pride Month, DeSantis War Room, a Twitter account closely aligned with Republican presidential candidate Ron DeSantis, retweeted a 1-minute, 13-second attack ad directed at Donald Trump, which quickly racked up over 25 million views. The ad trended.
And we showed that ad here the day it came out, the ad that he's talking about. Now, he's going to break down the ad from the perspective of an anti-domestic terrorist expert. Just like we have Chris on here talking about different things. Chris, by the way, is working with the military at the moment and doing some special training on things and not going to be able to be with us for a little while, which again gives me, you know, um, a lot of stuff in this episode tonight have given me the heebie-jeebies as to, you know, connecting dots and something potentially coming. Anyway, um, he's going to tell us the first half of the video is about linking Donald Trump as pro-LGBTQ, and the second half is about linking DeSantis to extremism, which I didn't see in the one time I saw the video, but just a little preface as to why we're watching this. While I'm paused, let's hop back over to the chat real quick. Echo Romeo, how about the Dallas, Texas news of South Dallas youth committing another mass shooting? Oh no, I that did not pop up on my scans before I came on. Echo, geez. All right, another mass shooting. It's not a surprise. All right, let's get back to this.
On Twitter was covered by traditional news outlets and quickly went viral. With Trump and DeSantis jockeying to be the Republican nominee and spending considerable resources to attack each other, this is the kind of press every comms team dreams of. And yet, DeSantis himself has not commented. And his top influencers and supporters are ignoring the ad's existence in hopes that it'll disappear from the internet forever. What kind of content could be so radioactively cringe that a video with over 25 million views is considered a failure? An ad that is both rabidly homophobic and homoerotic while mainlining violent fascist symbolism. This video has been posted by the anonymous Twitter verified account Proud Elephant US, which is flooded with hateful and conspiratorial content. But to be clear, DeSantis War Room, the account that boosted this far-right one that made this video go viral, is the official rapid response account for the DeSantis campaign. It's not some random Stan account. The video they shared generated a ton of chatter on the internet and across cable TV. It was insane. By now, you've probably seen the ad and heard a lot of the condemnation of the disgusting homophobia in it, including from Republican-affiliated groups like the Log Cabin Republicans. But there's a lot that's been missed in the news coverage, and here on Against All Enemies, we want to give you the deep analysis that you need so that you'll understand how extremists interpret these types of things. Most people don't spend all of their time in the darkest and weirdest places on the internet.
Now, he says, as for me and some of you viewing this, we are not in that most category, as we have spent time in some of the darkest places on the internet. I know I have, trying to research some things down some rabbit holes. So we're not included in that particular statement, but many people don't have a clue as to what goes on the internet.
But the volunteers with Task Force Butler follow extremists wherever they go, so that we can decode their cultural references that most people wouldn't be able to. So let's check out this ad. If you're listening to this as a podcast, try and pay attention to the sound effects and the music that accompany the voiceovers. These are the types of things that we of course hear, but we don't always recognize how they signal to us more than the words that accompany them. The video begins with candidate Trump's 2016 speech, given in response to the Florida Pulse nightclub massacre, declaring, quote, "I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens," end quote, before pivoting to Trump shaking hands with trans celebrity Caitlyn Jenner and agreeing that trans women can compete in the Miss Universe beauty pageant. LGBT branded MAGA clothing and other pro-Trump drag queens complete the first half of the Trump position part of the video before pivoting.
I did not know there were pro-Trump drag queens. I guess I should have assumed. Drag queens are across the society, and there's a difference between being a drag queen and being transsexual. Just because you're a drag queen doesn't mean you're a transsexual, but it doesn't mean you're not either. But there's a separation, um, and it's just the the complexities of humanism.
To a hard stop and presenting the DeSantis position, which is decidedly anti-LGBTQ in the most extreme of ways. And this is where the video descends into violent far-right fantasy. If you're watching this as a video, pay attention to the brief clips showing famous actors in some of their biggest roles. We're going to talk about those on the other side. Here's the clip.
I will do everything in my power to protect our LGBTQ citizens.
If Caitlyn Jenner were to walk into Trump Tower and want to use the bathroom, you would be fine with her using any bathroom she chooses. That is true.
It's Ken Harbaugh, Chris's co-host and the producer of Against All Enemies. I'm jumping in here.
Okay, he's jumping in, which I was going to do. He's jumping in because playing the video will get your channel taken down if you play the whole video. It will possibly get your channel taken down. So in lieu of that, they paused it as I would have and skipped through it, but they did it for us.
Here with an editorial comment. When we first attempted to upload this ad as part of our video, it was flagged. It turns out the ad's producers failed to get the required permissions to use both the soundtrack and some of the images. So we pulled the music out, and if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see a couple grayed out clips as well. These are the ones of Tommy Shelby that Chris references. I wanted to weigh in here to make the point that the creators of this awful piece of pro-DeSantis propaganda aren't just raging homophobes, they are incompetent at their jobs. They literally broke the law, probably accidentally, to make a commercial that blew up in their faces and has since been pulled from their website. All right, back to what's left of the ad and Chris's fantastic commentary on it.
Oh,
Central High School, how may I help you?
hang on. Let's get back to the content. Here we go. All right, they didn't show the rest of the ad because it would have got them flagged.
Anti-trans groups to preserve relevance and continue to acquire power in a post-January 6th world. In this Against All Enemies, we're going to zero in on two fictional characters that appear in the video. Patrick Bateman, the murderous psychopath from American Psycho, and Tommy Shelby, the murderous gang leader from the Netflix series Peaky Blinders. We're focusing on them because their inclusion are deliberate attempts to associate DeSantis with brutal, violent, and remorseless power. Now, let's get this clear right up front. Bateman and Shelby are fictional characters from pop culture. They're pieces of art. They exist to tell us things about ourselves and the larger human condition. The creators use very stark imagery and nuanced messages, which makes them great memes. But both Patrick Bateman and Tommy Shelby are remorseless, cold-blooded murderers. And they appear in a U.S. presidential campaign as avatars for a candidate, while that same video and candidate brag about how his policies, quote, literally threaten trans existence, end quote. At Task Force Butler, we know the time when political ads and messages like "It's Morning in America" and "Hope and Change" are long behind us, but come on, this is ridiculous. These characters carry meaning in the world of violent extremists, specifically in what's known as the manosphere. The manosphere is a toxic Instagram and YouTube influencer.
The manosphere. That may be a new topic or a new term to some of us, but the manosphere. He'll explain.
Community. And this is from a Task Force Butler volunteer. Fascist is an insult these days, casually thrown about by every political spectrum. Taking a book out of school or insisting it remain can be a fascist act, depending on your position. But the act demonstrates a fawning devotion to the male physique, psychopathy, destroying enemies, and unification around a strong military leader. The second half of the video begins with DeSantis, lightning bursting from his eyes as if he were Zeus seated on a throne, while a thumping techno beat reminiscent of a military march mixed in with a gay club begins. The following imagery comes in quick succession. Memes of muscular Chads, popular in the red pill manosphere, Patrick Bateman from American Psycho, Tommy Shelby from Peaky Blinders, smoking, as well as Brad Pitt from the movie Troy. Bodybuilders flex, liberals cry, while headlines tout DeSantis' anti-trans, anti-drag queen legislation. In its homoerotic peak, Patrick Bateman and Achilles return along with Leonardo DiCaprio, and then DeSantis in a flight jacket while a font displays Top Gov. Now, Andrew Tate is someone you're probably familiar with. He's that manosphere influencer guy who got arrested in Romania on extremely serious charges because the guy's a terrible person who's engaged in things like human trafficking. Now, Andrew Tate would consider himself an alpha in this manosphere. He and other influencers sell books and courses to so-called betas who want to level up and become alphas, right?
Here comes the grift.
This is the big grift of these manosphere so-called alphas. Now, Patrick Bateman is considered outside of that duality, that relationship, and is known as a Sigma male. Now, stick with me for a second. This is an alpha that does not care about money, cars, women, or even society, like the Andrew Tate type does. They're considered dangerous in an appealing way to young men by not caring for society or anyone else. Famous other Sigmas might also be the Joker, Tony Montana from Scarface, Machiavelli, Dirty Harry, or even Clint Eastwood. And the
Tony Montana was pretty focused on money and possessions and mansions and things. Just saying.
Other men that are in DeSantis ad, such as Jordan Belfort from The Wolf of Wall Street. These men are praised by this community for their violent and psychopathic nature by some members of Gen Z who've grown disillusioned with society. Some in part because of the COVID era. They don't believe in any sort of social contract, and they want to tear it all down for the rest of us. With the rise of the alt-right, we saw extremists attempt to use meme culture to promote detestable ideas. They depict horrible things in goofy, cartoonish ways, using symbolism to communicate things like racism, anti-Semitism, and violence, specifically against women, in ways that they hoped would give them plausible deniability. With that kind of hate and love of remorseless violence having been mainstreamed, and now endorsed by a leading presidential candidate, we're entering really dangerous territory. Because their baseline is also fixed in the big lie, the absolutely baseless conspiracy theory promoted by Trump and his allies. Because in their minds, their democracy has already been stolen from them. And we know from polling the idea that our democracy failing, a what-if scenario that American people cannot choose their own leaders, leads a plurality of Americans to support political violence. Now, what this ad does, in the context of years-long movement to demonize the LGBTQ+ community, is provide a target for that political violence. That's how stochastic terrorism works. Now, this is one ad in a grueling political cycle that goes on way too long. But here's what we know. When the John Birch Society was purged from the Republican Party decades ago, it kept violent radicals in the political establishment from forming explicit, visible alliances. Today, we have elected officials saying they're proud to be Christian nationalists. A sitting U.S. Senator recently said, quote, "You think a white nationalist is a Nazi? I don't look at it like that. I look at a white nationalist as a Trump Republican," end quote. And then, of course, there were the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers admitting in their January 6 trials that they considered Trump's words to be encouragement to storm the Capitol and commit violence against uniformed officers. These very online politicians and their staffers know what they're doing when they amplify these violent, radical images and messages. They know that they're throwing logs on the fire, and they're thrilled to see the flames of anger and division grow higher. The thing is, we're the ones who are going to get burned. Against All Enemies is produced by Ken Harbaugh in partnership with Task Force Butler. Our team includes our producer, Michael Alcessor, and the Task Force Butler volunteer researchers who provide much of the intel and analysis that we'll be bringing straight to you in this new show. Come back tomorrow for another Against All Enemies. Please like and subscribe to this channel, and share this video with 3 of your friends who care about democracy. Check us out at taskforcebutler.org.
There you go. As you know that watch this show, I like to help new channels out, especially something that's trying to do something like that. Not that I have any influence to actually blow that channel up or anything, but every little bit helps. All right, we're going to get to the games. It's time for game night. Hang on here. Get the commercial out of the way, and we'll get ready for our first game. So before we get to game night, let me hop back over to the chat real quick and see who's in there. Max Flower, Chrissy, Lauren, Nancy. Thank you, Chrissy. I like you too. Thank you for being here. It's game night. Here we go. A lot of, there was a lot of stuff, and it can get overwhelming. But it all matters. Even the little funny stuff in between that give us a little break, it all matters. And we're through it. So now, I'm out. Have a nice evening. Thank you, Max Flower. We'll do that. Thank you for being here. We're going to start out with this. How lucky are you? This is kind of a little scientific.
Till the end to see how lucky you are. Let's get started. First up, pick your car.
All right. Pick your car. Box 1, box 2, box 3. There'll be 3 cars in there. Which one do you think has the best car? Here we go.
Keep track of your points as we go.
Number 3 would be the winner. If you pick number 3, number 2, you did okay. Looks like you got a Tesla, but number 3, you got a Ferrari. Number 1, with some tender loving care and a lot of restoration, that could be worth something. Always try to be positive. Here we go.
Pick your house that you will own.
Okay, here we go. Pick the house. 1, 2, or 3. Which house? 1, 2, 1.
Don't forget to keep score.
Oh, the ones. You got 10 points for 1. You got 5 points for number 3. And 0 for number 2.
Now, pick your dessert.
Pick your dessert. Pick your dessert. Chrissy's got 15 points so far. It's been 1, it's been 3, it's time for 2, isn't it? Question number 3 was going to be 2. 2? Bunny says 2. Let's see. Oh, the rainbow cupcake is the winner.
Pick.
Hey, hang on a second. I want to go back here because that went by too quick. I didn't even get to see the other 2 cupcakes. Rainbow, sprinkles, and then a muffin. A muffin might be be the dessert of choice to some people. I don't know. Anyway, here we go. On to number 4.
Pick your bedroom.
Pick your bedroom. 1, 2, or 3. That's a sexy cupcake. That rainbow colored cupcake. All right, here we go. Pick your bedroom. 1, 2, or 3. I'll throw out a little bit of trivia here. What was the first TV show where they showed a couple in the bedroom? Anybody know the answer to that? What TV show was the first to show a couple in a bedroom? Not necessarily in the same bed, but in the bedroom. Not non-cartoon, because the Flintstones were the first to do it cartoon-wise, but non-cartoon. Here we go. Pick your bedroom. Oh my gosh, they got my bedroom in there. Wow. All right. Bedroom number 2 is deemed to be the winner. Bedroom number 1 looks kind of nice. Bedroom number 3, I think that would have to be intentionally put together like that, but I don't know. All right, here we go. On to the next.
Next up, pick your watch.
Pick your watch. I'm not a watch guy. Not a watch guy at all. I do like a pocket watch every once in a while for some reason, but that's been probably a decade since I've carried. Yeah, that's the first thing I thought of was Hoarders, that they took the picture from Hoarders for number 3 on the bedroom. All right, watch. Here we go. Which watch is it? Oh, I think I would. Oh, it's a Rolex, of course. I was gonna say I think I might prefer the SpongeBob watch, but got a Rolex, and I guess you've got an iWatch or whatever it's called. But I don't know. SpongeBob.
Now pick your computer.
Oh my. Pick your computer. We're at question number 6. I've kind of lost track of where the numbers are. Number 2, number 2, number 2. Everybody's going number 2 on computers. Let's see.
Oh,
Oh, Wait a
Next,
minute.
pick your-
Wait a minute. I want to see those. I want to see those computers. Okay, I'm guessing this is like a master gaming computer over here on the right of the screen. Because I'd rather have the laptop than I would this big monstrosity of a thing. But again, it depends on what you're doing. Maybe I should have one of these big monstrosity things for what I'm trying to do. But I had something similar to that back in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s.
next, pick your computer chair to go with your computer.
Oh, well, of course. This has got to be number 2, doesn't it? Number 2 is from 1988. Okay, that's what I thought. This has got to be number 2. Yes.
Pick your pet that you get.
Oakley. Sorry. She was sleeping and raised her head. Pick your pet. 1, 2, or 3. Number 1. Number 1. Aww. Ew. I'm okay with 1 or
Pick your
2, I guess.
vacation spot.
Oh. Pick your vacation spot. 1. If you could vacation anywhere in the world, where would it be? Where would you go? Money were no object. You could spend 7 days anywhere in the world. Where would it be? Number one is, I'm not sure where that is, but Paris is not, Paris is considered less than a beach. Paris has been on fire, so I guess that's probably legit.
Now pick your shoes you'll wear.
Oh. Pick your shoes. What's the dude's name that all the women want his shoes? What's his name? Jimmy Choo. Are Jimmy Choo's shoes going to be the pick? Oh. Are these the Nikes from Back to the Future? All right. Yeah, I'd take those. I'd take the number 3.
Next, pick your ring.
Pick your ring. Pick your ring. 1, 2, or 3. Here we go.
I hope you are getting good things.
Yeah.
Now pick your backyard for your house.
Okay, now this could be, this could show like a massive backyard, and somebody wouldn't want that if they, didn't want to mow. Pick your backyard. Let's see what they do, if it's just based on ground or if it's based on amenities as well. 1 and 3, and there's another 3. Here we go. Okay, it is based upon amenities.
Now pick your ice cream that you get.
Ice cream. How can you have bad ice cream? I mean, is there any such thing as a bad ice cream? 1, 2, 2, a 2, a 1, and a 2. Ice cream, you scream. Oh, yeah. Again, I would probably go for the number 5, for the one that's worth 5 points over the one that's worth 10. I think that's like impractical. But what are you gonna do? On the ground, on the pavement, ice cream's not probably good, but Oakley loves it. I met this woman one time, and it was shortly before I met Kay. And never mind. Never mind. It was an ice cream story. Pick your truck. Pick your truck. All right. Hang on. Pick your trucks. 1, Joy. Hi, Joy. 1, 3. 1, 3. 1, 3. 1, 3. Okay, I'm gonna go 2 since everybody's going 1 and 3. Ooh. Oh, that actually was that a Dodge? Nope, it was a Ford. All wrecked. Okay. All right. A Ford. I don't know if I would consider this a truck, but it's just about the numbers, not the images, I guess.
Pick your dress.
Pick your dress. 3. Terrible pick on 3. Last time, yeah. Pick your dress. 2. Here we go. Okay. I think it would be based upon individual taste, which would be the best. But again, this is about numbers, not necessarily the images.
Pick your closet that you will have at home.
Pick your closet. One is nice. I like that one. Okay, picking your closet. 3, 3, 3. And let's see. Massive closet number 3. Whoa. Geez, hold on a second. Let's look at that closet for just a moment. My gosh, it's got a freaking window in it. Mine's closest to number 2, I guess, but I don't have anything that looks like that. All right, number 3 it was. Congratulations to those. All right, what's next?
Now pick your candy that you will eat.
Okay. The worst candy. What's going to be the bad candy? Candy nobody wants. Is it going to be licorice? Black licorice? Yeah. Let's see what the worst candy is. You're picking 1. You're picking Mavis Rose. Got number 2. Let's see what the worst candy is. Nothing. It's an empty wrapper. All right. The worst choice is an empty wrapper. I guess number 10, you get a great variety. And number 5, Kit Kat. I'll take the Kit Kats. I'm all right with the Kit Kats. And apologies to any of you that are great fans of black licorice. It's just not my thing.
Pick your necklace.
Pick your necklace. Pick your necklace. Got number 1, number 2, number 3. A lot of 2s for the necklace. Here we go. Here we go.
Next, pick your headphones that you will use.
Your headphones. All right. I guess old broken set will be number 0. Headphones 2, 3, and 2. 2's the winner. Number 3 looks like what I've got.
Pick your phone that you will get.
Oh boy, here we go. Phone. Pick your phone. What phone will you get? 1, 1, 3. 1 and 3 are the big winners. Number 2 is my phone.
Now next, pick your cottage.
Pick your cottage. This is getting cottage. All right. 1, 3 or 1. 3, 2. Here we go. All right, that's not a frickin' cottage. I don't know if either one of those are cottages. I think the only one that's a cottage maybe is the one that hasn't been taken care of. Got a tree growing out of it. That's never a good thing. Well, I guess it could be if...
Pick your artwork you will hang in your house.
Monet. I pick a Monet. 3, 2, 1 artwork. 112, and we find out it is. Oh, okay. Huh.
Now pick your pants.
Pick your pants. Alrighty. My pants are definitely number 2.
Pick your food that you will eat for dinner.
Food you will eat for dinner. Again, this is, selective, whether it's what they determine to be the best or not. Well, we got 1, 3. What did Chrissy say? Something about Scrabble? What the heck is what the heck is that number 1? Like a charcoal briquette? And you get your Big Mac and fries as number 2, and steak and shrimpies and asparagus rods. Number 1 would be my cooking. Joy. Hey, Lisa Hurley. Hello. Thank you for joining.
Pick your window view from your house.
Okay. Pick your window view. I'd like overlooking a lake with, anyway, let's see what happens. I'll take number 1. Number 5, I don't know if I really crazy about that view, but it is better than number 2.
Next, pick your...
I have stayed in a hotel where I had a view like number 2 for a couple of days in Washington, D.C., actually.
hairstyle.
Pick your hairstyle. Wait a minute. Are you going to say I got a really unpopular hairstyle? Or is this going to be women's hairstyles? What are we talking about here? Number 1. Number 3. Actually, number 3 looked a little bit like mine.
Motorcycle.
Pick your motorcycle. Okay. What are they going to use as the top choice? Is a Harley going to be the best bike? This will be interesting. A Bugatti. What's going to be the best bike? A 1, 2, 2, 2. All right, here we go. The best bike is the number 3, a Yamaha. Number 2's a scooter, and number 1, it looked like it might have been at the bottom of Lake Mead.
Pick your nails you will have.
Pick your nails. You can pick your friends, you can pick your nose, but don't pick your friend's nose. Okay, let's pick our nails. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay. Number 3 has what they consider the best nails. I kind of like number 1 better than number 3 myself personally, but and number 2 I think is Joe from the YMCA.
Pick your boat.
Pick your boat. Sailboat, a yacht, a fishing boat, pontoon boat, party boat, houseboat. A fishing boat, a small yacht, or once again, part of Lake Mead, possibly. Finding all kinds of stuff there as that drained down. But it's starting to fill back up, thankfully, to a very wet winter. started to get desperate there for a while.
Now, pick your flowers.
Pick your flowers. What kind of flowers does everyone like? What's going to be are roses the houseboat? Nobody would see me. I spent 2 years, two back-to-back years. I spent a week on a houseboat on the reservoir down between Kentucky and Tennessee. Dale Hollow, depending on where you're from. All right, here we go, picking our flowers. What's everybody's favorite flower? Anything pink? I don't know what I would consider my favorite flower. I kind of like the smell of lilacs. Roses are like, eh. All right, let's see. What's the favorite? Roses are number 1. Are those lilacs number 2? And number 3, some dead sunflowers? Lilies? Lilies are nice. That was my mom's favorite.
Pick your career that you will have.
I will, never mind. Lilacs smell so good. I agree, Lori Arnold. Career, you're fired. You're going to be Elon Musk. Oh, please, child, no. No, thank you. No, give me number 2. Give me an Emmy. Much rather have an Emmy and not be Elon Musk, personally.
Pick your bank balance.
Pick your bank balance. A lot bigger than it currently is. Is it number 1, number 2, number 3? What is it going to say is the epitome of bank balances? Number 2, $1 million, $10,000, 0.
Okay, so now add up all of your score.
All right, add up all your scores. I personally didn't keep track, so I'm not sure, but if you are the winner, declare yourself so. I got one more of these. It's from a site called The Quiz Show, the one we just did. This one is Never Have I Ever, and I have not done this. I didn't do either one of these. I trusted The Quiz Show because I used them on game night several times here. But this one is Never Have I Ever, and it's the bad edition of Never Had I Ever. So we will see. And I'm not going to guarantee you I'm going to be totally honest on everything, all right? Just because it's the internet. Here we go.
Welcome to The Quiz Show. Do you want to know how bad you really are? Let's find out in Never Have I Ever, Bad Edition.
Okay. You should have an idea probably how bad you are already, but if not, we'll know after this.
Play along and see how many bad things you've done. Let's get started.
This will be interesting.
Never have I ever farted and lied about it not being me.
Okay. I have, yes. And it was hilarious. But anyway, Joy pleads the fifth. Everybody else is being honest. All right, next.
Never have I ever stolen anything besides
someone's heart. Oh, gosh. I don't think I've ever stolen somebody's heart.
someone's heart.
I never fart, says Cricket Day.
Never have I ever.
Oh, wait a minute. Did we get answers for that? Nope, not good. All right, no thieves in here. Good. Never have I ever made a prank call. All right. Now, um, there may be some younger people that have never made prank calls, but for a lot of us, um, when we were younger, girls would have slumber parties. They'd have sleepovers, and guys would have like campouts and such, and a lot of times, there'd be people saying they were staying over at my house when I'm saying I'm staying over at their house, and it seemed like there were always prank calls from girls. Um, so I don't know if I've made a prank call before, but I don't know if it's a girl thing. Um, Girls, guys, never have I ever made a prank call.
Ever made a prank call?
Is your refrigerator running?
Never have I ever egged someone's property.
I'm guilty of that too. Gotta admit, I've done that. Echo says, I think I made a prank call or two back in the day. Mike Hunt. Yes, Lisa Hurley. Oh, phone call for Mike Hunt. Phone call for Mike Hunt. Egg someone's property? Yes, I have. Nope, never. Lori Arnold has never egged anyone's property. I've egged, I've toilet papered, I've soaped windows, threw corn, just about every Halloween kind of thing. Sorry, no, I have. Maybe don't look. Forgive me. It was a long time ago as a kid. Don't look down on me.
Never have I ever gone through someone's phone behind
Oh,
their back.
oh. We done a lot when we were younger. Yes, I did a lot. May have keyed an ex's car. All right, here we go. Gone through someone's phone behind their back. Put bags of leaves on a friend's lawn who had no trees once. I may have written horse ride free on my ex's car window. Toilet paper looks best. Every chance we can to check stuff out. Okay. Every chance you get, you go through someone's phone behind their back just to make sure. I don't know if I've ever done that. I know for a fact my ex-wife went through my phone, my computer, went through everything, every chance she got. But I don't know if I ever have. I probably have. I probably went through, especially going through the last like 5 years when things started really getting absolute crappy, and I was a complete maroon for hanging on as long as I did. Probably went through the phone. So I'll say I have. Plus it keeps my string going of having done everything so far.
Are you enjoying this video? Let us know with a thumbs up. Never have I ever borrowed money knowing I wouldn't give it back.
Oh no. No.
Never have I ever
I didn't
lied
stop
about
that
an
one.
emergency to get out of work.
Oh, wait a minute. I have done this. Lied about emergency to get out of work or school. Yeah, I did this to go to Indianapolis Motor Speedway my senior year in high school. So yeah, I have done that. Lied about an emergency to get out of work or school. Yes.
Or school.
So far, only one thing I haven't
Never
done.
have I ever wiped my booger off on someone's clothes.
Oh my God. No. No, I have not. I remember kids doing that. I never did it, but I remember kids doing that. But no, I've never done that. I do have a story about accidentally knocking some condiments off of a hot dog onto the back of a woman's white cashmere sweater once, but no burgers. Wait a minute. What did I just see? That's why God made Kleenex. I was flirting and it worked.
Never have I ever pirated a movie.
I've done that. Sadly, I have done that. I'm guilty. I've watched a movie online that didn't pay for.
Never have I
Me
ever
be guilty of
not washed
pirating
my
a movie.
hands after using the bathroom.
Okay, the same college football game where I accidentally knocked hot dog condiments onto this lady's sweater. I was in the bathroom, and every time I go into a public bathroom at a like when you at a stadium or some kind of place where there's a lot of people, I always check to see if there are paper towels before I wash my hands. Before I even go to the bathroom, I check and see if there are paper towels. Anyway, this was at the University of Indiana, IU. And I didn't go to IU. I went down to IU to party a lot, but I went to another college. And the college I went to is called Ball State University. And I was in the bathroom, and when I walked in, I saw they didn't have any toilet paper in the thing. So I went to the bathroom, and I was getting ready to walk out, and this I don't know, fratty, Biff kind of guy says, at IU, they teach us to wash our hands after we go to the bathroom. And I said, well, at Ball State, they teach us not to piss on our hands. So I have.
I was not
Oh,
able to.
we got a
chew.
commercial.
That's just.
And back to the game. All right.
Games, subscribe to our channel, The Quiz Show. We promise
Got a
fun.
unicorn. The dude's got a unicorn
Never
head
have
on.
I ever broken something in anger.
All right. Never have I ever broken something in anger. I have. I'm not going to tell you about it. But yes, I'm guilty of that one too. I'm going to end up being bad. I'm going to end up being really, really bad. Said you're going to know how bad you are after this. I'm going to end up really being bad because yeah, I've broken something in anger more than once.
Never have I ever gossiped about a friend.
Oh, yeah, I have. Guilty. I have. Let's see. Several times I have. Worst thing was my pinky finger pulling my sister's hair. Guilty as charged. Yeah, sheet happens. Oh, yeah, we're all on YouTube, no doubt. Joy. Yeah, we're all on YouTube, duh. If you're not gossiping, you're not trying, right?
Never have I ever gone on a spending spree on a parent's credit card.
No, my parents didn't even have a credit card. So that one, yeah, that's not, no. Um, Now, I did on my wife's credit card once, but it wasn't like, and it wasn't a massive, it wasn't even a spending spree. It was just, right after an election, I took off to Florida to see my daughter and my grandson. So it wasn't really a spending spree. Um, so I'm going to say no on that. I'm going to have 2 so far that I didn't take part in.
Never have I ever gotten sent out of class.
Are you kidding me? Is there anybody in here that never got sent out of class for something? There probably is, but yeah, I'm not one of them. I got sent out of music class a lot. When I was in elementary school. I don't know why. I really liked music, but never. Christine Mother Hen says never. Wasn't sent out, but I've sent people out. Yeah, I've sent people out too in my brief teaching career. But yes, unfortunately I was kicked out of class a couple of times. I was sent to the principal's office a couple of times. I was, yeah, you know, sheet happens even when you're not on the YouTube streets. When you're a kid in real life, sometimes things happen. Sometimes you get put in a position to where, you know, you either stand up for yourself or you're probably going to get bullied for the rest of your life. And you know, sometimes that happens in class. Anyway,
Never have I ever faked my parents' signature on a document.
all right. Lori Arnold says she was good at school. Of course she was. Faked my parents' signature on a document. I did that once. I had to have a report card turned in, and neither one of them were there. So yeah, I faked my dad's signature. God, I am bad. There's only 2 things I haven't done out of however many we've already done. I'm about ready to stop this, so I'm not, you know, I don't find myself to be the most horrible person on earth.
Never have I ever told a secret I promised to keep.
I have not. If I tell somebody I'm going to keep a secret, I keep it. And I tell people not to tell me things because I do keep it, and I don't want a whole bunch of crap. But no, I haven't. I've never told a secret I promised to keep. And I've got some, man, I got some secrets. Bunny's a secret keeper too. Keeper, good. We got some secret keepers in here. Good to know. I mean,
Never
obviously,
have
I'm
I
gonna.
ever drawn on a school desk.
Oh, come on. Of course I did.
Never have I ever had a party while my parents were out.
I just said earlier, girls would have slumber parties, and I had a girl. There was a girl in my class that grew up. She was my next door neighbor, and she would have girls stay over at her house, and I'd have the guys stay over at my house, and um, the girls would sneak out, late at night, and her mom would wake up, and 3 or 4 of the girls would be gone, and her mom would call over and say, are the girls there? And well, yeah. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, they're here. But because in my eyes, it's not like I forced them to come over or anything. But anyway, yes, I have. On to the next, quickly.
Never have I ever cheated on a major quiz.
No.
Never have I ever been suspended from school.
I was never suspended. I get called to the office a few times. I had a few, but never suspended. I was on double secret probation in college for fighting, but I didn't get suspended.
Never have I ever swore at my parents.
I don't think I ever did. I don't think I ever swore at my parents. Does being fired from school count? No, Nancy, it doesn't. No. My kids have been suspended, one frequently. It happens. Caught isolation a time or two, but never suspended. Yeah, they had. When I was in school, it was either you got suspended or you got your ass whipped. But when I started teaching, they had. You had to stay after. What was it? Detention is what they called it. Detention. You had to stay in detention after school. In school suspension. Okay. Yeah, I respected my parents. I don't think I ever cussed at my parents. I don't know if I ever. Yeah, I'm sure I cussed in front of my parents, but not ever at them. Never have I ever. What's next?
Never have I ever made a fake Instagram account to mess with someone.
Okay, no, I haven't. I'm not on Instagram, but all right. So this is troll accounts. Never have you ever made a fake YouTube account to mess with someone? Not Instagram, but yes, YouTube, any social media. Facebook account. Always Be Kind says never. I don't even have IG. No, I'm new to YT. Okay. I don't have I don't have an alt account as far as something to mess with somebody. No, none of us have alts. We're all angels.
Never have I ever started a rumor about someone I didn't like.
Ooh, Lori Arnold confesses she has alts. I think alts is a younger person thing. Nope, yes, nope. I have an alt to avoid his ex. Ah, okay. Having a parent with dementia will work on your last nerve. Yeah, it will. Started a rumor about someone I didn't like. I don't think I have. I told the truth about him. uh, yeah, Lisa Hurley. I know what you're talking about.
Never have I ever forgotten a parent's birthday.
Birthdays were pretty big in my family, and I would always get a call and a reminder that, hey, you coming over this weekend? We're celebrating Dad's birthday, or, so I don't think I ever forgot a parent's birthday.
Never have I ever loosened the lid on a salt shaker as a prank.
Okay. I have. I've loosened the lid on a salt shaker as a prank, and about got my ass whipped for it, because I thought it was a whole lot funnier than the guy that dumped salt all over his French fries. But yeah, I've done that too.
Never have I ever kissed someone in a relationship.
Oh, child, please. Guilty. Yeah, I have multiple times. Multiple times, multiple relationships. Joy says never, ever. Kissed him
Never
where?
have I ever ghosted someone I was no longer interested in.
Ghosted someone I was no longer interested in. Is ghosted, is that like lurking, tracking in the background? Is that what ghosting is? Yes, okay. I've never really done that. Oh, hell yes. Oh, ignoring.
Never have.
It's ignoring someone you're no longer interested in? Oh, well, that in that case, shit, last 5 years of my marriage.
I ever created multiple email addresses to get free trials.
Free trials. What the heck's that mean? Free trials. Created multiple email addresses to get. I guess I haven't, because I don't even know what it means. I'm not even sure what it means. Get free trials. Oh, like signing up for things? Discount coupons. Oh, okay. All right. No, I've never done that.
Never have I ever tried to return clothes I already wore.
I don't think I've ever done that. Tried to return clothes I've already worn. I don't, maybe try something on it that doesn't fit, but it's not like I wouldn't consider that wearing it. Oh, hang on. Got to get through commercial here. Video will play after ad. Of course, we got 15 seconds. And another ad. Apartments.com. All right, here we go.
Have I ever blamed something I broke on a sibling?
Oh no, I couldn't do that. My next youngest sibling was 12 years older than I was, so it was just me. And if something screwed up, it was generally no choice but to take the blame. So no, I have not done that one. There's another one I haven't done. They're few and far between, but
Never have I ever fallen asleep in class.
Yeah, I have. I'm sorry, but I did I've fallen asleep in class. Uh, yeah, I have. I don't have any really catchy story about it other than I worked my way through college, and occasionally I would work too many hours and fall asleep in a class. Yeah.
Never have I ever driven a parent's car without them knowing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I have. I don't know. I think we were 13, me and my best friend, and we drove. I took my parents' car and we drove to the local fast food spot, which was about 15 miles away through the country. And I don't know if they ever knew that or not. But yeah, I have. Of course, it's different. I started driving on the farm. I started driving on a uncle's farm and then on a friend's farm. So I'd been driving for a long time. But it wouldn't have mattered if I'd have gotten caught. We were 13 or 14. Went and got a burger and a shake.
Never have I ever stayed up a full 24 hours.
All right, this one's interesting. Only when they were out of town and I didn't bother to mention, but never without permission. All right, this one's interesting. Never have I ever stayed up a full 24 hours. I have multiple times. There were times that I was working 2 different radio stations on weekends, and I would do the overnight at one station and the afternoon shift at another station, and you only got like 4 to 6 hours between getting off shifts. And yeah, a bunch of times I've been up 24 hours.
Never have I ever read someone's secret diary.
I don't think I have. I don't think I know anybody that's got a diary. I don't think. Maybe they did and I just weren't aware of it, but I don't think anybody I've been in a relationship with had a secret diary. If they did, I wasn't aware of it, and I have not read it, so another one in the plus column for me.
Never have I ever regifted a gift I didn't like.
Oh no, that's a staple in my family. Every year the white elephant gift, where you keep a gift that you got for Christmas, you keep it for the whole year and put it in the blind draw for somebody else the next year. That's like it's like a ritual. It's not a bad thing.
Never have I ever gotten a stick and poke tattoo.
Okay. Not sure what a stick and poke tattoo is, but I have not gotten one. I don't have any tattoos at all. So, stick and poke. Doesn't look like Nope. Is that like a prison tattoo? Is that what's determined to be a prison tattoo? A stick and poke? Yeah, no tattoos at all. Had a pierced ear in 1974,
Never
but
have I ever ever cheated in Marco Polo?
First of all, you're not blindfolded Marco Polo. The Marco Polo I think of, you're in the water and you're not blindfolded. So, of course, you cheat when you pop up out of the water, but you can't really see because you have water in your eyes. But never played Marco Polo. Okay. Thank you, yes.
Never have I ever faked connection issues to get out of online work or school.
This is kind of my online work, so no, I don't. I dread connection issues, honestly. So
Never
another
have
no.
I ever lost something you borrowed from someone.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst. That is absolutely the worst. Borrow something from someone and then lose it or break it or destroy it or whatever. You know, that, yeah, I have. And it's the worst. Thank you for Christine Mother Hen. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful night yourself.
Never have I ever bullied someone.
Yeah, I've done that too, unfortunately, when I was a kid. After I stood up to the bully and I realized,
Watching the video.
after I stood up to the bully and I realized everybody respected me, I took advantage of that, unfortunately, for a short period of time. And then learned the lesson. All right. Let's see, what time is it? How long have we been going here? Oh my gosh, it's already 12:30. We've been going 2.5 hours. Let's see. How long is this? Or should I just say this? This is 13 minutes long. What happened in the 20th century? We'll just save this for... we'll save these for next week, all right? And again, never have I ever, the bad edition. Maybe I'll see if I can find the good edition for next week. So, yeah, we'll just go ahead and wrap it up here. I didn't realize we've been going for 2.5 hours, but thank you all for being here. My gosh, you greatly appreciate it. I can do one more. It's only 9:30 there. It's 12:30 here, and I gotta do something in the morning, unfortunately. So, thank you, Chrissy. Thank you, Joy, Nancy, Lauren. Always be kind. Echo, Lori Arnold. Thank you all for being here, everybody. Thank you, and I'm thanking those in the chat specifically for being here. We'll do this again next Thursday night. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be on 6 o'clock Eastern, 6-ish, depending. And we'll be live from the park and showing tomorrow night's concerts. Then I'll probably be off on Saturday and Sunday and back on Monday with our panel of Lori Arnold and Cunning Stunt and GA from CA. And maybe one of you, if you would like to join the four of us, send me an email, let me know. And tomorrow night also, 8 p.m. Eastern, the return of Damnation Drive-In with Sam Singe and Baldy Banks. So until next time, thank you all again. Greatly appreciate you being here. Namaste, shalom, shalom, assalamu alaikum. Blessings be upon you. Peace. Live long and prosper. Positive vibrations to one and all. Much love. It's a dark world. Try to be a light. I love y'all. Thank you.